Hey everybody, it's Taylor, also known as Short Sleeve Tea. Today is Tuesday, October 25th. I am sorry that this video is a little bit late. I normally upload on Sundays, but I've been a little bit sick this week, which is why I did an update on Sunday. I do have a little bit of a cold, so I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit muffled, but I'm going to try to get through this video for you guys. I do have a lot to talk about. So first, I'm going to address my stats for the week. Last week I weighed 281. I told you guys I had lost a total of 100 pounds, being that my heaviest weight was 381 pounds. And then after my pre-op diet, I weighed 331 at surgery. Last week was 281, and this week was 276. So that is another total loss of 5 pounds for the week. However, I don't feel like I made very good choices with food this week. I did go to a fall festival and I had a couple pieces of candy. The sugar made me sick. It made my stomach hurt. So I do know that if I eat any kind of more sugar than I normally would in a day or anything like that, or at one time, I do feel sick. I also went to Starbucks this week and I asked for a sugar-free drink and they put sugar in it, and I started vomiting and felt very sick afterwards. So I know that sugar is affecting me differently now than it was before. I'm pretty excited about that just because it is kind of a way for me to say, hey, you shouldn't eat sugar and your body doesn't like it when you eat sugar and you feel sick, so don't eat it. So this week in week 11, my period did start back. It never really stopped. I think I mentioned that in my last video. It stopped for a couple of days, I think 5 days total, and then it just got progressively heavier. It started spotting, and then now it's just a full-blown period. I am on birth control, and I was put on birth control to try to regulate my period and make it a little bit not as heavy, and it really hasn't done anything for me yet. I'm hoping that at some point it will regulate my period and make it lighter, but as of right now it's still full-blown. This week was the week I was supposed to be on the plateau pills, so the last week of the birth control pack. I started taking it and my period got out of control. It was very heavy. It was back to almost how it was when I first got my period after VSG surgery. I was going through 3 pads an hour and a tampon, and it was just terrible. I'm sorry for any of the guys that are watching this, but you guys need to know that this does happen with VSG surgery. I wish that I would have known before my surgery that this was going to happen and that I was going to feel sick from it, and this period has caused me problems with my legs. My legs will get very achy and tired if even if I'm walking up a flight of stairs, and I know you guys are going to tell me I need to go to the doctor for this, and I need iron, and I need supplements. I've already called the doctor, I've already talked to the doctor, they told me to take iron supplements, and nobody thinks that this is abnormal for a VSG patient, at least anyone that I've talked to. Medical professional wise, I know that you guys don't think this is normal. Neither do I, honestly. In my personal opinion, I don't think this is normal at all, but everyone that I've talked to has said it's fine and that I'm fine. So I have been having bad mood swings as well with this period, and I feel sorry for my husband. Yesterday, the 24th, was our 1-year wedding anniversary, which I'll talk a little bit about later, but I just feel bad for him because I have been having these awful mood swings for the last couple of weeks, and I wish they would go away. I kind of have to take a step back for a while and evaluate the way that I'm acting. I know that it's all not me, and a lot of it is my period, a lot of it is the birth control and the hormonal changes with weight loss, but my mood swings have just been awful, and there's really nothing I can do about it, and I'm glad that my husband is sticking with me through this, and kind of just taking my mood swings as they come, and every day as it comes, like I am. So if any of you guys are like me, you watch a lot of videos on YouTube, you follow a lot of people's weight loss journeys on Instagram, you read a lot of articles and get a lot of information from different sources all over the internet about weight loss surgery. This past week I was reading an article and it was talking about foods that are off limit after weight loss surgery. I have an opinion on articles like that and on statements like that. In my personal opinion, I don't think foods should ever be considered off limits. When you quit something cold turkey, like food or cigarettes or alcohol or anything like that, you are going to start feeling very restricted. You're going to feel like you cannot have these things and they're going to make you want to have them more. Alcohol and cigarettes are different than food. They are harming your body in different ways. They are harmful to your lungs, detrimental to your health, and I am by no means condoning drinking alcohol or smoking cigarettes. However, the article I was reading was talking about Chinese food specifically. I know Chinese food in American culture is Americanized and made with a lot of sugar, MSG, soy sauce, salt, those kind of things, and none of that is good for a weight loss patient. None of that is good for anyone in general, but in moderation they can be consumed. But something I wanted to talk to you guys about was choices. I eat Chinese food one time per week. I eat it with my mom. I have gone with her since I was a young child to the same restaurant, and we've gone on Fridays and had lunch there. Before weight loss surgery, I would choose a meal like sesame chicken, fried rice, and an egg roll. After weight loss surgery, I now eat chicken with broccoli, no rice, no egg roll. The reason being is I am being more choice conscious. Instead of having a fried sesame chicken lunch, I'm having a sauteed chicken lunch that has white wine sauce and broccoli and carrots and fortified with all kind of good nutrients and vegetables. And I'm not eating the rice, so it cuts down on the carbs tremendously. It's barely any carbs. When I calculate it on MyFitnessPal, it tells me that the white wine sauce and chicken and broccoli has 5 total carbs and is 200 calories for a, I think, 3-ounce or 4-ounce serving of the dish. So you can be health conscious with your favorite foods. You can be health conscious with Italian food or desserts or whatever that you're going to eat. You just make good choices. Opt for a sugar-free dessert, a low-calorie dessert. Look on Pinterest for desserts of your favorite kind. I know there are tons of low-carb cheesecakes and mousses and all kinds of different delicious, better options for you to have. I don't ever think you should cut out a food group or a type of food that you like for the sake of weight loss surgery, unless it is harmful to you, harmful to your stomach, and making you gain weight, making you have any kind of health problems, things like that. Chinese food is not off limits. Desserts are not off limits. You have to make good choices for yourself. You have to choose to pick the healthier option over the fatty, fried, sugary, carby option. You have to make that choice on your own. You just have to strictly modify and moderate what you're eating. You have to make sure that you're not eating it all the time. You're not eating large amounts of it, large quantities, high sugar, those kinds of things. Just watch what you're eating and make good choices about it. So another thing I wanted to mention to you guys was that I am having a little bit of body image issues again. There are days when I look at myself in the mirror and still feel like I look like I am 380 pounds, and I feel discouraged, and I just can't tell that I myself have lost any weight. I will get lots of compliments from people telling me, wow, you look great, you look like you've lost so much, and I'm thinking, where do I look like I've lost so much? I feel like I still have the same chin, the same big, giant, massive arms, and, you know, I feel like I look the same as I always have. Before and after pictures do help, but I'm waiting for the day when I can look in the mirror and say, wow, I've really done something great with myself. I've really made a difference. I've really changed my look. Like I said before, I have a theory on weight loss. If you are like 300, 400 pounds, whatever, just pretty morbidly obese, once you start losing weight, you are losing a lot of body mass. And eventually you're going to start gaining shape. I feel like I haven't really gotten to that point where I have started gaining shape. I do have a pretty defined, well, I wouldn't say defined, but I am able to tell that I have a waistline now. Another thing I've noticed is that I can see my collarbones now. Before I could not see my collarbones, and that was really exciting to me because as a kid I always thought having collarbones was like the big thing, like that made you look small. I don't know, that sounds really stupid, but everybody has their own thing that makes them feel like they are losing weight, and really the only thing to me is my collarbones. And I guess my clothes sizes going down make me feel like I'm losing weight, and sometimes when I'm wearing a really nice fitting shirt and I feel like I have a waistline, that it makes me feel like I'm losing weight. But I still have these issues where I feel like I am the same person as I was, and I feel trapped because of it. But I think eventually once I start gaining more shape and more mass is going down and I'm just changing, you know, in different ways other than just losing fat mass and gaining more shape, then I'm going to be able to start seeing, okay, now my legs look smaller, now my arms look smaller, my stomach looks smaller. Another thing I do have to remind myself on that is that I didn't just do this for the way that I look. I did it because I wanted to be healthy, I wanted to have children, and I do need to remind myself that my periods are becoming regular. Although they're heavy and they're very long, they're going to start becoming regular, and I'm going to start ovulating. But because before this surgery, I never even really had a period. So I do have to remind myself of the health aspect of this too. It is all not just a physical journey, despite it being a very emotional and mental journey. It's also a journey on your health, and physically that's going to come. I think one day it's just going to click for us. Okay, so I did want to talk to you guys about my anniversary dinner that I went to yesterday. I decided that I wasn't going to really watch what I ate yesterday as far as my anniversary dinner went. I did try to make choices that were carb conscious and lower in carb, not fried food, anything like that. My husband and I went to the Sundial in Atlanta. And if you've never heard of the Sundial or you've never been there, it is a 72-story building that rotates at the very top where the restaurant is located, giving you a beautiful view of the Atlanta skyline. I chose to eat scallops while I was there. They gave me 4 scallops on the plate. It also came with potatoes and leeks. So the first thing I did when I got the food was eat 2 of the scallops. I started feeling pretty full immediately, and because it was my anniversary dinner and I told myself to just enjoy the dinner with my husband, I did eat some of the potatoes. Some bread came to the table and I ate half of a piece of the bread. And when we got home, we had our 1-year anniversary piece of wedding cake. That is a tradition that some people follow where they keep the top tier of their wedding cake, and on their first anniversary they eat a slice of it. I did eat a slice of that cake, not very much of it. I think it was probably 1/4 of an inch wide and just very small. I did want to eat that and just partake in that with my husband. And the reason I mentioned this stuff to you guys was because, like I have said before, you cannot restrict your life just because your stomach is restricted. You need to utilize this honeymoon period, this 1 year post-op period, for the best, most health conscious and weight loss positive, high protein, low carb, beneficial food for your body. However, there are going to be birthday parties, there are going to be anniversaries, there are going to be holidays, and if one bite of potatoes ends up on your plate, if one bite of pie ends up on your plate, you don't need to beat yourself up for it. It almost seems like I'm condoning you guys eating whatever you want, and I'm not, and I hope I am not coming off that way. And I want you guys to know that eating a bite of potatoes or a bite of wedding cake did not hinder me from anything. It's not going to put 100 pounds back on my body. It's not going to be detrimental to my health. But it's not something I can do every single day. I can't do that every day. I have to watch what I eat because I really want to utilize this next year. This is the time when you lose the most weight. This is when your body is the most apt to losing weight, and it's the easiest for us. So we have to utilize this time. I feel like I haven't been utilizing my exercising. I haven't gotten on the treadmill. I haven't walked like I should. And that is something that I am kind of battling within myself, because as soon as I start doing those things, I start getting tired because I've been on my period for so long and my legs will hurt. And I can't keep using that as an excuse. I'm going to have to find something to do. I'm thinking yoga, like I've said before in a couple videos, but it's just so difficult. I may end up having to take my iron right before I exercise. I don't know. I know some people drink protein shakes before they exercise. I may do that, but I really want to get on track with this exercising, and I want to make sure I am doing the absolute best for my body that I should be right now, because this is my time to do it. This is my year, and this is your year. This is our year. Let's get on track with all of this. Don't let the year pass you by just doing the bare minimum and eating small amounts. Let's make sure we are exercising, we are keeping our minds on track, we are focusing on the good food and steering away from the bad, and just doing everything we can to make the most of this time. So I did want to mention, lastly, my Q&A video. I am still going to post that video the week before I go to Pennsylvania. That is going to be the week before the 22nd, so I'm assuming it's like the week of the 15th. So you guys can comment on any one of my videos and just tell me that it's a Q&A question, and I will promise to answer every single one of those questions in that video. And I did mention to you guys that I was going to film some holidays after weight loss surgery videos. As far as food recipes go, I'm thinking I'm going to do a pork rind stuffing recipe that I found on Pinterest. It is low carb. I don't know how you guys feel about pork rinds. I don't really like them. I can't really eat them. They're a little too hard and they're too crunchy for me. I'm just not a fan of them, but in a casserole like this and as an alternative to a stuffing or dressing, whatever you guys call it, I think maybe that would be kind of a neat thing to try. So I am going to try that. I'm also going to make a pumpkin dessert for you guys that you could take to Thanksgiving. So that'll be coming up in the next week or two. And I'm going to attempt to film myself making a fathead low carb pizza. It's a little difficult for me to film making that, but I'm going to try my best and see if I can post that for you guys at some point soon. I am going to make that tonight, so if I do decide to film it, it'll be up in the next couple of days, and if I don't film it and you guys are just dying to see it, let me know, and I will film it. And so last but not least, I wanted to show you guys something that my husband purchased for me. This is a gastric sleeve plush doll. It is a whole stomach, and right here is the portion that is sleeved. So if your family ever wanted to know what does your stomach look like, you could show them this, which is just an adorable representation of it. And here's the whole stomach, the sleeved part, and it's got a cute little face and a heart at the top. And on the back, it's got my name. I think it might be, you know, backwards for you guys, but there's my name, and it is embroidered in there, and my date that I had my surgery, so 8/8/2016, and then just my cute little doll. And if you guys wanted one of these, it is on at Plushies on Etsy. So just go on Etsy, type in Plushies, and you spell that Plusheez. So I believe it was like $30. It came from the UK. The shipping time was a little bit long, but that is totally fine. She hand makes every single one of these. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will have another video for you guys coming up on Sunday or Monday, I'm not sure. But look for recipe videos. I will try to have some up this week. And as always, you guys can message me or DM me on Instagram, or email me if you want to, and I will answer any question that you have. Just let me know. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I will see you again next week. Bye!